Hello and welcome back to Holt Hanley Weather. Today's big story is Winter Storm Mabel. Let's take a look at what it's already done. Well, if you remember, it started as a cutoff low off of Southern California, and it basically hung out over New Mexico and West Texas for a couple of days. As you can see, it brought snow to basically all of New Mexico, 5 to 8 inches in some places, maybe even a foot to 2 feet in some places of New Mexico. West Texas, you got a little of that action too. North Texas, you got maybe 3 to 4 inches. And then that band of snow stretches all the way through Oklahoma and then into Kansas. Well, Winter Storm Mabel's not done. It's just going to continue its path. It's actually going to get stronger, moving through the South and Midwest, and then eventually the Northeast. So let's take a look at that big picture of what's going on. Right now you see most of that snow is done for New Mexico and Texas. It started to move to the right, bringing in that warm air from the Gulf. So you see those heavy rainfall rates right on East Texas, up into Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas. That's going to be bad for the South. We'll get into that later. But there's something interesting that's about to happen here. You see those heavy rains in the South, and then you see that band of snow about to move through the Midwest. Well, these two systems are going to combine into what is going to be the bulk of Winter Storm Mabel. As you see, this is right now, and then let's stop right there, by Wednesday night, this picture right here pretty much summarizes Winter Storm Mabel. It's going to be heavy snowfall rates for the Midwest, bringing maybe half a foot to a foot of snow in some places, and then there's just going to be a long strip of severe thunderstorms basically from Louisiana up into like southern Indiana. And why are those thunderstorms so bad? Well, if you remember, Winter Storm Cade just moved through the South and led to a bunch of flooding down there. Winter Storm Mabel is just going to add on to that because the soils can't take any more rain. And as you can see, that strip of heavy rain is going to move through the entire South, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, while that snow hits the Midwest and Northeast. So let's dive into the actual regions and see what's going on. Texas right now, you see heavy rain on the east side of the state, maybe 0.5 inches per hour. That's pretty heavy. And then Louisiana, you're kind of missing out at that point, but by this afternoon, that low really builds in over Louisiana, and it's actually going to strengthen. It really strengthens once it connects with that system in the Midwest, but at this point it hasn't done it yet. Still heavy rainfall rates though, maybe half an inch per hour, and then right there you see it connect. This is Wednesday night. This is when the system really starts cooking. It's bringing in warm, moist air from the Gulf, and what that's going to do, it's going to give these thunderstorms the moisture they need to drop maybe a half a foot of rain in some places, severe flooding, and then that warm air, that's what you need for storm development in the first place. So when are you guys in the clear? By Thursday morning, this system's gone, and then you should be clear in the way of precipitation. Well, let's take a look at the South, because this is really where I think the bulk of the damage from Winter Storm Mabel is going to happen, because again, the rivers are already swollen. There's places of Mississippi and Alabama that are still flooded from Winter Storm Cade, which I might say strengthened after it left the U.S. and is now causing basically 100-foot waves off of Portugal. There's a contest going on if you're interested in that. Back to the South. Heavy rain starting to build in right now, and then by, like I said, Wednesday afternoon, that low really strengthens. That organized strip starts to go and then move across through Louisiana, Mississippi, and then into Alabama by early Thursday morning. This is actually causing some tornado threats as well in Mississippi. We'll take a look at why in a second. And as you see, it kind of dissipates a little bit by Thursday at about 7 a.m. That's good news because Georgia is extremely flooded right now as well. They had state of emergency declared just last week, and they haven't had any time to recover. So it's good to see that the southern portions of the state, at least, are going to be in the clear on this one. Just isolated showers through Thursday, and then that system is gone by Friday afternoon. So overall, I'd say that's good news for Georgia and Florida, bad news for Mississippi and Alabama, where again, already flooded, and this is just going to drop more. Let's look at why this storm is so bad for Mississippi and Alabama. Oh man, I hate to be a total weather nerd, but this is an awesome map for showing how the circulation happens around a low. You can really see these winds coming down, bringing down that cold air on the west side of the low, and then the winds coming up on the east side of the low. If you think about a low, it's counterclockwise circulation. So on the west side, bringing cold air down, on the east side, bringing warm air up. You can really tell that from the temperature difference here. See Montgomery, almost 70 degrees. Just over the line, you see Jackson, 59 degrees. And basically that's true for everything. Down here, 70 degrees. Up here, 40 and 50 degrees. And if you take a look at these winds, this is the big story for the south. These winds are coming off, look how warm that water is over the Gulf of Mexico. What that's going to do, it's going to bring in warm, moist air. The warm air comes in, it rises, creates clouds. The clouds have all that moisture from the Gulf, that's going to drop, bringing heavy, heavy rainfall rates. So that's something to watch out for. I'm going to keep you guys updated on this one as it progresses. Awesome map though. Now moving up to the Midwest. Right here you can see there's some snow in North South Dakota, Minnesota. Actually a blizzard warning going on right now for those states. The cool thing to look at here is when these two systems combine. You can see it, the snow in Minnesota and the snow that's about to move through Iowa, you see combine right there. You can actually see where it connects over Iowa. And then this is the bulk of the storm. This is Wednesday night. So by tonight, Indiana, Ohio, you guys are getting some heavy snowfall rates. Look at those dark blues right there. Indianapolis, you guys are going to be a wild card for this one. You guys are right on that snow rain line. So depending on if that cold air can pull down enough, you guys could get some snow. Right now, it's a toss-up. I couldn't even say what's going to happen. So you see heavy snowfall rates for Wednesday night into Thursday morning from Indiana to Ohio. Illinois, you're getting a nice dusting too, as well as parts of Minnesota and Michigan. But as you can see, it's a quick hitter. It comes in, comes in Wednesday at 7 a.m. and by Thursday at 7 a.m., it's basically gone. So it's really fast-moving system. Pretty cool to see though. Going back to this map where you can see the wind and the cold air, it's a similar situation to the south where the circulation is really important, but it's the opposite part that's important. In the south, we had that warm air moving in, lots of storm development. The big story in the Midwest is you have that cold air moving down, which allows for higher snowfall rates. Like, look at some of these temperatures. This is Thursday at 7 a.m. Parts of Minnesota, negative 14 degrees, negative 15 degrees, all the way down into Iowa. You're below zero in Waterloo. And then you can see where the warm air is coming up on the other side of the system. Charleston, you guys are more like 43 degrees. So your precipitation, if you get any, is in the form of rain. But man, you can see that Arctic blast really moving down. And then by Thursday afternoon, it's eased up a little bit, but it is still freezing in Minnesota. Literally freezing. Makes me glad I live in California. But as you can see, especially right there, those cold temperatures are right on that Indianapolis line. It says 32 degrees. So that's going to be a toss-up what your guys' precipitation ends up being. Big story there though, that cold Arctic blast of air. So what are your totals going to look like? Illinois, you could be in the 3 to 4 inch range in most places, maybe 5 to 8 in the central parts of the state. Indiana, well, you're getting the bulk of this one. You guys are getting maybe 6 to 10 inches, maybe even double digits in some places. Iowa, you're getting it good too, 5 to 8 inches, especially on the western parts of the state. If you're a snow lover in the Midwest, this is pretty encouraging for you guys. In the Northeast, sorry to you snow lovers, it is a little disappointing based on, what the models were saying a couple days ago. They've eased back a little bit. Right now you see high pressure over you guys, no precipitation right now, but that's going to change. Starting Wednesday night, you see that winter storm Mabel start to move in. Western Pennsylvania, you start to get some snow. And then the bulk of the storm hits you guys at about Thursday at 1 in the morning. See, basically all of New York's getting some snow. Massachusetts, Connecticut, you guys are finally getting some snow. You've been missing out recently. And then that low is just off to the southwest of Pennsylvania. And remember, brings up the warm air on the east side. So that's why Pennsylvania at this point, this is Thursday at 1 a.m., you're mostly getting rain because it's bringing in those warm temperatures, really spoiling your snowfall. Boston, you guys are going to be close. I'm rooting for you to get some snow, but my gut instinct is saying you're going to be too warm. It's just going to be rain for you guys. And then by Thursday at 7 a.m., that low moves up farther into the northeast, northern parts of New York, basically all of Vermont and New Hampshire, you guys are getting snow, and southern parts of Maine have some heavier snowfall rates. And then when's this one gone? Basically by Thursday night, it's gone. So again, just like the Midwest, it's a quick hitter. It comes in, drops some snow, mostly rain for the Northeast, and then it's gone. Like a 24-hour storm. Let's look at your guys' totals. You know, it's pretty good. It's something. Northern parts of Pennsylvania, you guys are getting maybe 3 to 4 inches. New York, basically most of the state is getting 4 to 5 inches. And then southern Vermont, New Hampshire, you guys are getting this pretty good, maybe 5 to 6 inches. Southern parts of Maine, 3 to 4. Northern Maine, you guys are kind of missing out on this one. 1 to 2 inches throughout most of the state. I'm going to keep you guys updated on this. Again, this is showing the snow accumulations for Friday, so I still got a few more forecast videos before this happens. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel so that you can see more videos like this. And if you have any advice for how I can improve these forecast videos, please let me know in the comments. I'm always open to constructive criticism. Thanks for watching.